folks. We continue in chapter 25. Chapter 25 is bringing all of the teachings since chapter 28 full circle. And what's for full circle? Bereshusai, it is we're capable. We are capable. What are we capable? Well, yesterday we spoke about being capable of not disconnecting from God. That when we recognize that it's a spirit of folly that enters us, that is trying to disconnect us, and we don't allow that. Today, the Alter Rebbe speaks about the positive, on how we connect. Just as there's a disconnect, there is a connect. And that is, of course, of doing good, mitzvahs, that when we employ our hidden love that we have in our soul, that gives us the strength that we could be determined in our heart, strong like a lion, as the saying goes, right? And why do you need to be strong as a lion? To do good is because there is a competing nature, which is the laziness that we have, the sloth that we have, the element of earth that weighs us down, that doesn't want us to do good in a godly way. So what does it mean to do good in a godly way? To serve God, meaning through effort and toil. In other words, to do good naturally is not what we're talking about, because that's not the service of God. That's not employing your hidden love of your soul. But it means to do it in a strenuous, toiling way. So, for example, we're learning Torah right now. So we could be doing this on autopilot. We could be doing this naturally. Doesn't mean we are laboring with deep concentration and really totally engaged. So to fight against the natural inclination that would be to, again, be slothful, to be lazy. Lazy doesn't mean you don't do something. You could do it, but you're not doing it in a full engagement. So this is what the Alter Rebbe is saying. The doing good that we're talking about in the service of God with effort and toil means in study of Torah with deep concentration to speak it out orally, the words of Torah, as we're doing right now, as opposed to kind of being in your head, which, you can fulfill the mitzvah of study of Torah by the understanding of it. It's sufficient. Furthermore, when it comes to prayer, in a similar way, we can pray, we can say the words, and there's a different thing about deep concentration, that we're focused and we're in it, we're engaged, we're toiling, there's an effort being put in to what we're doing, as opposed to just, go smoothly. Then the Alter Rebbe brings another example, giving charity. We can give charity in a, again, autopilot manner. By the way, these are my words. The Alter Rebbe isn't using those words of autopilot. And then there's toiling. In other words, when you say, "Oh, why are you giving?" When you say to yourself, "Why are you giving so much?" In other words, "Oh, you're giving that much. It's an effort." That's what the Alter Rebbe is talking about. In other words, the evil inclination wants to cool your ardor, cool your passion and excitement. And you have to toil in order to do it against what your evil inclination is suggesting to you. So how can you accomplish this? How do you accomplish? In other words, studying Torah with a toil, davening, praying in a strenuous way, that you're really focused in prayers, giving charity in a way that you're going above and beyond your natural inclination. So Alter Rebbe says, well, that's the conversation that we're talking about till now, that if you be ready joyfully to give up your life for your faith, being totally attuned to that, No problem, because I don't want to be disconnected. I want to be connected to God. So that's how much more so we can be joyful, how much more so we could devote ourselves in a strenuous way to serving God by doing the mitzvah, as opposed to dying for God. We can live for God. How much easier is that? Is there pain in giving the extra money to charity? Yes. Is there a strenuous effort in devoting yourself to the learning, not looking at other things at the same time online? I talk to you for that because I'm only doing one thing right now. But when I'm studying, that there isn't another distraction. Your phone isn't distracting you. That you're fully engaged. That's strenuous. That's a toil. So the Alter Rebbe is saying that if we were ready to happily give up our lives for God, why not live for Him? It's easier. I mean, it's effort, and it's day in, day out. I guess dying is just one time, but it's still easier. And all the more so when we recognize that what's happening, when we're mindful of the fact that what's happening when we study, when we do a mitzvah, we're bound up with God. We are totally connected and one with Him. Wow. In a perfect union. Not only are we bound up with God in a perfect union, but there's an eternity to that union that we have with God. Above on high, God is all good. He is eternal. His goodness is eternal. His inner will is the Torah and mitzvahs that we fulfill. That's what He wants. That's what He truly wants, as an end in itself. So that mitzvah that we do, that we serve in giving of ourselves in that strenuous way of a toil in the engagement, it lasts and endures forever, on high at least, right? In the spiritual realm. Because the word of God shall stand forever. And therefore, the word of God that we are expressing right now on the spiritual realm will last forever. So taking into account the 3 points over here. Now, we would die for God gladly to maintain our identity as a Jew, our connection to God, and wouldn't entertain another faith. So live for Him. It's easier. Less pain involved. Because we're talking about pain over here in serving God. What's the pain? That you're doing it in a strenuous way. You're giving yourself over above and beyond, what is natural. That's finding the hidden love that you have inside of you. Moreover, is that when you contemplate the fact that you are being bound up with God in this good deed, in this mitzvah, in this study of Torah that you're engaged in. Oh, wow. And that bond is eternal on the spiritual realm. You might not feel that and experience it, but we need to be aware of that. That's powerful. That gives us the strength to not just study as we're studying. Again, we're talking about on a different level of study. We're talking about on a different level of doing the mitzvah, that there's a toil involved. There's an effort that's engaged. A real effort, soulful effort that we truly, as I said, if you're watching right now online, there can be a lot of distractions. This pops up, that pops up, this message, that message can be all over the place. That's not strenuous. So you're listening with one ear. You're praying. I'm praying. It's not about you. It's about me. It's about me. It's about all of us. I'm praying. And, this thing is, I'm bothered by, or I'm having an issue with something, and of course it's going to rise up to my thoughts, and I go with it. In fact, I bring myself away from that strenuously and make the effort to concentrate on the davening and to connect through the prayers. And likewise, as he said, with charity. Powerful stuff, folks. The Elder Rebbe is giving us a path in our lives that we can really be who we need to be. Anna from Hungary, thank you for joining. Joanne from Nevada, welcome. Shaheen, good morning to you in New York. Cindy in Tampa Bay, Boker Tov. Jane, Boker Tov to you in the Illinois area. Benjamin from East Indonesia, Shalom. Thank you for joining. Susan from Scranton, Pennsylvania, good morning. And from Georgia, Meigs from the Philippines, good evening to you. Michael, Shalom. Robert from Boston, Shalom. Yan from Mexico, Boker Tov. And Franklin from Nigeria, welcome. Nathan, Boker Tov. Jean from Boker Tov. Jean, you have to remind me. Anna, Shalom. Michael again. Oh, 2 days in a row. All right, keep it up. Former Montrealer, now in Toronto. Thank you for joining. Clem from Brisbane. Probably good evening to you. Erica, hello to you in Norway. Good afternoon. Linda from Nebraska, Boker Tov. Thank you, Cindy, for sharing. Rivaldo. I'm sure I got that wrong. Boker Tov. Tony from Costa Rica. Good morning. Lou is with us from Yardley, Pennsylvania. Geraldo from Sao Paulo, Brazil. Julie from Florida, Boker Tov. Nelly from also from Florida, Boker Tov. And Jean from Manal. That's it. I knew. Manal. Thank you. And regards. All right, folks. Sharing is caring. A reminder that you can get Tanya in a Minute by the Tanya Rabbi, as he is known, at least on Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Other places coming soon. And please do follow us there. I'm Rabbi Ronnie Fine, coming to you from Chabad Zich and Kadesh in Montreal, Canada. It's a privilege and a pleasure to share with you the Tanya. Have a wonderful, great day.